Welcome to Tradie Business School. This is episode 14. You're joined by the wonderful Miranda, and my name's Michael. Lovely to have you here on the show today. Hi, Miranda.
Hey guys, so great to be here. I just love recording these episodes with you, Michael. We have so much fun. In fact, we were just having a bit of a giggle before we even pressed record. This topic is one that's just exciting. There we go. We have a bit of a giggle.
I want the pre-roll to be like the show. I think we should have a pre-Tradie Business School episode where you get to see all the fun that we have. Because I think as soon as we press go on these shows, it's like we're on. We're getting into serious, business. But before I think I made Miranda cry with laughter.
No, I wasn't able to wipe my eyes. Anyway, but we are here now to talk to you about the biggest mistake so many businesses make when hiring an SEO company. And I know Michael could probably fill an hour talking about this, but we will, as we've promised, we'll keep this short, simple, and to the point. But so, Michael, what is the biggest mistake?
There's so many mistakes. And unfortunately, I think that a lot of us are prey, right? Like we fall victim to a really good sales pitch from an agency whether they're going to sell you SEO, they're going to get you onto the first page of Google, they're going to sell you ads, traffic, whatever that is. I see a lot of companies trying to sell to people that, and maybe you're one of these people that doesn't quite understand what they're doing, doesn't quite understand that, what the agency or consultant is required to do, but that you want the outcome. And they're so good at making it sound great, right? But they don't help you to understand the pitfalls. And then you wonder, you're spending all this money, why isn't it working?
It's so common, isn't it? Like SEO in the world of internet and conversions and leads and all these words may as well be Russian to many of us. And
sorry if you're Russian.
I know, and there's nothing wrong with the Russian language, but I don't speak Russian. So that was just the first example that came up with. So to me, someone speaking to me Russian, I would not understand. And I know that it's like that for so many, business owners, especially tradies, general contractors, where often the profession is not in the land of computers and building code and the IT technical areas, so often not. And so it's almost like, well, that sounds so complicated. Whatever you say that makes sense sounds good.
This comes to the biggest mistake, but also the biggest opportunity for you, okay? So here's the first rule that I want you to think about. SEO is search engine optimization. And what that means is using blog posts and keywords and filling your website full of really good content so that when someone on Google types in, plumber Melbourne or concreter Brisbane, your website shows up without you having to pay for the click. So it just shows up anyway. You know how when you do a Google search, and you've got usually the ads at the top, and they'll usually say ad next to it. They're always at the top. And then underneath, usually there's about 3 of them. Then underneath those 3, you'll have the rest. So SEO will usually get you to the top of the free ones, which is probably position 4, okay? So you're not actually at the top with SEO, firstly, okay? So don't fall victim to the fact that you're not going to get to number 1 in most cases, but you may get to number 1 of the organic, normal listings in Google, okay? But it takes time. It takes a lot of time. It can take you a good year. And there are some fantastic SEO agencies out there. I need to give credit where credit's due. There are some really talented people out there, but they will tell you there's no quick fix. There used to be many, many years ago. It was so fun. You do couple of clicks here, a couple of words there, and you're on the first page and you're getting business, right? But it's not quite there. Now, if you get a Google Ads company approach you, say, I'll get you onto the first page of Google. Well, of course, they're going to get you on the first page of Google because that's exactly what Google Ads do. So don't listen to any of that crap. Okay.
So a Google ad is the one that appears at the top with ad next to it, right, Michael?
Yeah, the paid ones above everyone else.
Yeah. You've got to pay money to someone to get your ad there. And when you mentioned organic before, that's the ones that it just happens. You don't pay. You pay someone to get you an organic search, but you're not paying every time someone clicks on it. You're not paying to run an ad. That's the difference.
That's right. Either way, you're paying someone to manage it for you. Okay. The ad one, you get the click immediately because you're going to get to the position immediately. And the organic one's going to take you longer to get there. So it might take you months to get any return on investment, let alone,
good distinction.
Yeah. So my recommendation is not to start with SEO, but to start with Google Ads. Start with Google Ads, start with paid, because then you can work out which keywords convert, which words that you're bidding on convert into paying clients, paying jobs, and then if you want, go to an SEO company and say, here are the keywords that are converting for me. Can you rank me organically, please, for these keywords?
It's kind of like doing paid sped up research. It's what you're doing is paying to speed up time.
Yes.
So the SEO company or Google Ads company, whatever they call themselves, will do the same thing. It will just take a longer period of time to do that research, that detective work to work out what words and keywords are going to attract your clients and get them to click.
And here's the other thing, right? Here's the other mistake, because there's lots of pitfalls in this, is that whoever's managing that for you, because I highly recommend you get someone to do it for you. Okay, if you can, because it is technical. There's a lot involved in doing it. It's not like, you can learn it, but I doubt you have the time or desire to become a Google Ads expert. Hands up if you are, but you're probably not really want to do that. But
probably not the highest and best use of your time and expertise. And I'll let you in on a little secret here, listeners, is that I've got quite a technical mind and I do love to geek out over detail. Now, Michael took me through some Google Ads stuff and even started going over my head at some of the first level, and it would take me quite a long period of time. And I've no doubt I could get it, just not the highest and best use of my time. So there we go.
Exactly. So here's the most important part, okay? When you get a click from whether it's the paid stuff where you doing Google Ads or you're doing organic stuff, which is the normal ranking, SEO or those sorts of things, you're getting a click. That is the sole job of that step. And we call that traffic. Like it's people, like you've got the roads, you've got the cars on the road, they're all going a certain way and they're going to a destination, okay? So all it is traffic. Traffic without conversion is useless.
Traffic jam or just traffic flowing.
I don't need, if I said to you, look, I'm really going to help your business. I'm going to get you 1,000 clicks. How awesome is that? Yeah. Can you take that to the bank? Can you go to the bank and say, I've got 1,000 clicks, got 200,000 impressions. Aren't I good? Right? Yeah. It doesn't help you at all. It's like likes on Facebook. They're vanity. It doesn't really serve a purpose, but you've got to get good ones. You've got to get them in order to get leads. Okay. So the most important part is where they go. If someone clicks on your Google ad, where they go should be a high converting landing page with a form, your phone number, good stuff on it. But here's the thing, the biggest mistake, most people send them to their homepage of their website. And the homepage of the website is the worst place you could possibly send anyone who's looking for a service because the homepage is too generic.
Yeah, there's too many places and things for them to look at. And many, many businesses have old websites that are out of date or function really poorly in the new land of high-speed internet, or just look awful, or have old branding or out-of-date content and information. And that's where they're sending these highly valuable clicks and traffic to. And what happens then?
Exactly. So you're paying the agency, you're paying for the clicks, and you're not getting the conversions. That's why. It's not that the Google company that you've hired is doing anything wrong. they're actually probably doing pretty good, right? But they'll probably say, oh, the problem is the offer isn't good enough, the page isn't good enough, your website needs to be updated, etc. Right? So you've got this chicken or the egg scenario. Like, what do you do? So here's the rule I want you to take from this, right? Make sure that you've got a converting offer, a converting landing page before you start investing a whole bunch of money on traffic. Make sure it converts and makes you money. And if the agency who's helping you with your Google ads can't advise you and support you in creating high converting landing pages, walk away. Walk away, because they will wash their hands of all responsibility and say, we got you the traffic, that's your problem because you didn't convert them.
I'm just thinking, just want to back this up a bit. I'm wondering if the listeners are wondering this. I know that I've been asked this so many times from clients, is what's the difference between a website and a landing page? So let's just get some clarity around that. Because I know Michael's talking about a high converting landing page, and some of you out there might be going, what on earth is a landing page? So in a couple of, just in case that's you and you're like, thank goodness, Miranda, you asked that question, or if you didn't and you already know, that's fantastic.
Great question.
But let's just sort of get some clarity around that so they know what we're talking around.
So your website is where you've got lots of different pages. You've got to have a contact page, you have a services page, you'll have an about us page. It's a collection of pages. And typically it's like www.yourwebsite.com.au or .com or whatever your website domain is. Now, a landing page is which page of the website does the click go to? That is actually what a landing page is. It's where the click lands. So if you're doing a Google ad and you have the homepage of your website as the destination. So we're in the plane, destination is homepage.com, and we're going in the plane and we're landing the plane on the airstrip. Okay, on the homepage. That's the landing page, because even though it's your homepage, it's considered landing page because that's where we landed. Yeah. But the principle of a high converting landing page is that you want it to be very relevant to what the ad promised, to what the ad was about. Yeah. So typically a good landing page has one call to action, right? One thing that you want them to do, and it's very clear about that. So very simple.
It's kind of like landing somebody. I love to use the shop metaphor, and it's kind of like, I would like to buy fresh fish. That's just what comes to mind. Fresh fish. And you see an ad or something, and you're like, I buy an amazing fresh fish here. You click on it and you land. So if you were to land on a landing page, you land, it's like the shop front, right? The outside of the shop, and there's an amazing display of fresh fish. And there's one door to go through, one call to action, one thing to do for the promise of this amazing fresh fish that's all over the front of the shop front. So you go through that door and you buy that fish. I mean, sometimes what they do, and when people land, they run an ad, is they don't have the customer, the lead, land at the shop front, which is the landing page, with that one thing to do. They dump them in the middle of a giant department store or a supermarket, which has got bakeries and delicatessens and aisles of canned goods, and they drop them in the cleaning aisle. And they thought they were coming to buy fish. And then they've got to walk the aisle. Do I go down? Is it aisle 1, or is it over in the corner? Or is it aisle 5? Where on earth do I go to find fresh fish? And at that point, you lose them. They're like, you know what? This is way too hard. I just wanted fish. So that's sort of an analogy that will help you understand the difference between a landing page and a website, and that's what happens. That's why it's so important. Circling back to one of the biggest mistakes happens is when you've paid all that money and done all that work to get those leads. If you have them land in the wrong place, then they won't convert, and that is the critical part of the process. What is the point in generating leads if you're not going to convert them to sales to build your business?
Yeah. So number 1, start with search ads, get results with the conversion of those keywords, then hire your SEO company. Don't do SEO first and then hire the ads company. That's the advice that I'd like you to deploy. I firmly believe that every single person who's doing a trade, Google is your best friend. because when people want services to be done, they're looking for someone to do the work. That is where they're going to go. And if you don't have a good presence and a good strategy to actually make that work, you're going to be losing a lot of potential revenue and a lot of leads. Okay, so I know it's a big topic and it can feel a little bit overwhelming, and I get that. And there's so much to it, and I get that. So keep it simple and do one thing at a time and outsource that.
And if you've got any questions, if you sort of go away and mull over this, or you've heard it and you're like, I've just got a question, drop it in the comments below. We'll keep an eye out. Or you can come to the Facebook group, free Facebook group, which is
Off the Tools
on Facebook. Or come and check out the Tradie Business School, where we work with clients to unpack all of this in far more detail and support people, things like this, and guide people, which is tradiebusinessschool.com. Any parting words, Michael, before we wrap this up?
Not at all. I guess I love this stuff, and I just want to make sure that none of you guys get ripped off and none of you guys feel like you're lost. And I think the most scariest thing is when you're paying people to do stuff that you don't understand and you're not sure what to ask them, you're not sure what the right approach is. But even if you are doing SEO and you're not doing anything else, good on you. Good on you for actually getting out there and doing stuff. But, it's just with a little bit of knowledge that you've got from this episode, you may like to listen to it again. And I'd also encourage you, if you got value from this episode, share it with some of your friends. And particularly, I guarantee you there's going to be a lot of other guys that would really benefit from hearing this today.
Yeah, absolutely. I know it's one of those things. It's share the love, spread it around. So thank you for investing some time with us today. Trust this has served. You've learned a few things, and tune in next time to our next episode, where we will unpack some more amazing tips and give some advice on how to run your tradie business more enjoyably and in a far more fun way. Until then, see you soon.
Bye for now. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.